All right, we are live. All right, I believe we are going now. So let's see. Wait for people to trickle in. That way I know for sure I am live and it's working. I know for sure I am live and it's working. Yep, we are good. All right. What's up, Kyle? Hello, hello. How you doing today? Appreciate you being here and being the first one. Oh, Andrew, what's up, man? Good to see you. How you fellas doing today? You know, I'm going to do something different this time. I want to have some music going in the background. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it or not, but I want some like hype music to play while I'm like getting ready for stuff. Nice. So there's a waiting room for it. Awesome. Yep. Still figuring all this out, but eventually I'll work my way away from StreamYard. Just teaching myself OBS behind the scenes in my minuscule free time. We'll figure it out. If you hear noises in the back, oh gosh, I wish I could like point my camera over to the window, but I have contractors here putting up gutters, and I could just like see their ladder in my window well, whatever it's called. So it should be interesting. Hopefully they're not like banging and being loud outside, but it is what it is. Got to get Bluka on the beat. Yeah, I guess I could. He's on Spotify. That would make it easy. Yeah, if you have that live schedule, allows people to jump in. Cool. Yeah, StreamYard makes it really easy to like set and schedule things, which I really enjoy, but I don't want to have to like pay when I'm not ready for it to get rid of the watermark. So I'll just leverage the free in the meantime as I figure out OBS, which definitely has a learning curve, but way more options for customization and everything. So yeah, man, I wish I had like someone to handle all OBS for me. That'd be great. But yeah, we will wait like 2 more minutes and get started. But I appreciate y'all being here and being early. Wait like around 1 more minute and we'll get this started. Yeah, I need to figure out what to do in the intro portion of this. So like when someone watches a replay, it's not just me blabbering and talking with my hands, unsure what to do. Oh, what's up, Junebug? You could be part of this today? All right. Okay, so that's cool. So what I noticed last week, though, is that the comments from this stream during our conversation and everything and the questions at the end, they weren't showing up on the actual YouTube replay. So I wonder if that's going to be the case today. We shall see. Can I click off of that? Okay, cool. Does this show comments on the screen? Oh, so if I hit this, does it show them on the screen? It's acting like it does. So like there's Kyle, there's Mark. What's up, Katie? Well, we shall see. So hopefully these comments and everything will show up, but 30 more seconds and we will start this up. Okay, perfect. It does. Yeah, hopefully these comments show back on the playback then. That'd be great. Can you even hear the music right now? Probably not. I bet you probably can't, but maybe. All right. Well, let's get this started. Also, for the last playback, I can see the chat log. It was not there. Okay. Perfect. All right, Junebug, you ready? Let's get this. Cool. So today, pretty stoked about this topic. Actually, you listen in, you're going to be a guinea pig for me because tomorrow I have a big talk that I'm giving. It's like my first talk in over 2 years on a stage in front of people, but I'm going to be speaking to my alma mater high school, West High School in Waterloo. But you're going to get a little sample of my talk I'm going to give them tomorrow. It's only going to be like 10 minutes for them tomorrow, but I'm altering it. I'm tweaking it a bit just so it's a little bit more relevant for us non-high schoolers on the call today. But at the end, I'm also going to free this up for Q&A. I'll stay on and answer as many questions as I can till the top of the hour, if it goes to the top of the hour. So have your questions ready, save them to the end, and I will go through the chats and catch up on anything that I may have missed. But today, 3 things my past struggling self needed to hear. When I was lost in my early 20s, I was feeling extra hopeless that there was no path for me. And I wish someone would have told me these 3 things. And I wish they would have told me these 3 things so I could, 1, just make power moves more boldly on my own terms and not be so afraid of life in the world. 2, I wish someone would have told me that way I could have gained traction more quickly and reduced a lot of guesswork. And then 3, if someone would have told me all of this, it would have helped me avoid a lot of depressing funks, a lot of unnecessary hurdles, a lot of unnecessary unknowing of certain things, having to navigate a lot of stuff on my own. So all of these together that I'm sharing today are what's fueled my past side hustle that I was grinding for 10 years on the side until it all evolved in my current 6-figure business. And yes, so you're my guinea pig. I hope this one rocks whoever is going to hear it tomorrow at the high school version, but I hope you find a really big nugget in here today to just set the tone, set you on fire so you're ready to make moves. You know, as we shake off this winter frost and we get sprung headed into spring. Yeah. So number one thing I wish someone would have told me is just bet on yourself. This is pretty much the ethos, the muse, the spirit of what I'm trying to build within my brand of Coach Scotty.D.Russell, I guess, is I want to put people in a position where they bet big on themselves. It's a tough pill to swallow, but it has to be said that no one's going to make your dreams happen for you. No one's going to come and save you. And victim mentality is holding you back from getting those true, wicked, sick gains that you're out there seeking. No one's going to make your dreams happen for you. I think once you start accepting and embracing this, and become self-aware of that instead of waiting for these outside sources and opportunities to just land on your lap, then you can truly begin and build this foundation to make moves on your own terms. And what I'm a big believer in is this: there's just no instruction manual for how to build something on yourself, as well as there's no one size fits all creative career path. We've been fed the American dream, which I tend to call the American scheme, but I'll save that for another day. That's in past podcast episodes, but we're fed this dream that society tells us, here's the path that we want you to be on. We expect you to follow, get a good job. I'll go to school, go to college for a profession so you can get a good job. That way you can start a family, have some kids, get a mortgage, get in a lot of debt, buy a lot of things that you probably don't need to live outside your means. So then you're trapped, slave to your debts. Then you live your life building someone else's dream until life begins in your 60s when you're retired. And then you can be happy. Then you can pursue your dreams. That's what I was sold. But there is no one size fits all path. I may have gone the traditional path to college, but my success has all been built outside of college, outside of high school, outside of college. Everything has been built on my own terms, figuring things out, throwing myself into the fire along the way. And what has helped me get to where I am today, my definition version of success that I'm living out, which I still struggle with self-doubt, imposter syndrome, comparison. I deal with that all every day. But the 3 things that really helps me out is being patient, being hungry, and being consistent in terms of showing up and getting uncomfortable. So be patient wherever you're at right now, whether you're just starting off, you're just discovering you're creative, or maybe you've been at this for a while and you feel like you just haven't caught a big break yet. Just be patient. It takes time for things to pop off. We're sold cheap tricks and hacks and shortcuts on how to get XYZ results in this amount of time. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. It takes time. It takes time for things to pop off, and everyone's timeline and timing is different. There's a great quote from John Acuff, a really good author that I like. You can't compare your beginning to someone else's middle, which isn't fair. And that's what most of us are always doing. We're comparing ourselves, our current progress, our current state of whatever we're working on to someone else who is like a version 6, 7, 8 ahead of us when we're still on version 1 of our Photoshop file, and they're on like version 10, version draft number 10. We can't compare ourselves to where someone else is at. It's just not fair. We're running our own race at our own pace. Second, so be patient, stay hungry. We need to find what fuels our drive. Most importantly, I think it's got to come internally, but we can also have external drive. So like for me, I hate to say it, it's the ego part in me, but when someone doubts that I can do something, when someone isn't convinced it's possible for me to do X, Y, or Z or whatever it is, or like, why would you focus on building a side hustle when you have this safe day job? Oh my gosh, that fuels me. But now it's more internal fuels of like, I have something to prove to myself. I have something to prove to my inner critic. I have something to prove to my past self who didn't think anything like this was possible. I have inner fuel of changing my family's tree, creating generational wealth for my family's family, my kids and their kids beyond that. Like that's what fuels me today, and to make an impact on as many people as possible. So I'm hungry. I have a reason to show up each day. I've embraced being patient. I know I got to stay hungry, and I know I have to continue to be consistent, because showing up isn't just a sometimes when it's convenient kind of thing. But for most people, showing up consistently is a sometimes thing. They want gourmet pizza results from a nice restaurant, but only willing to put in that $1 Totino's pizza, party pizza effort, and maybe with inflation these days, that $1 Totino's pizza is probably like maybe $2 these days. I don't know. I haven't had one in a while. But we got to be consistent as well. We have to consistently show up for ourselves, for the people who need what we have to say, for our future version, successful version of ourselves, as well as consistently getting uncomfortable, throwing yourselves in the fire. I wrote something in a newsletter yesterday to my email subscribers, but when you're feeling stagnant, when you feel like you're super plateauing and, you're hitting your head against the wall and you're tapped out, you're not seeing new growth. In fact, things are shrinking due to algorithms, whatever it is. Things have to change. When you change, things will change. When external things outside of your control change, you have to change to adapt. And we're all just Pokemon on this planet pursuing our next superior evolution. So we have to consistently throw ourselves in the fire, consistently show up, and consistently pursue that next level of ourselves, even if it's scary and radically shakes our comfort cage. So that's part one of this, is bet big on yourself. Step number 2 that I wish I could have told my past self: relationships are everything. I say this often. This is a broken record, but I think it's important to continue to keep saying. So keyword when I say this, relationships are everything, the keyword is relationships. I'm not talking about the connect. I'm not talking about plugs. I'm not talking about my network. All that's true and all. Your network is your net worth. That's true. But relationships are everything. People matter. I want to nurture relationships. Everybody's talking about when one door closes, another door of opportunity opens. But every opportunity that's behind one of these doors, that door is being held open by a person. So relationships matter. I've been really active. I've been really involved. Anything I do, I'm naturally just a people person. I'm extroverted. And I would say one of my superpowers is just connecting with people. I really enjoy building relationships. It's something I've always found easy. I've always loved making friends, even though I play the role of people pleaser at times too. So that bites me in the ass. But, I've been active in high school. I've been hella active in college. Once I find something like this NFT community part that I really love the world and technology that the NFT world is rapidly moving toward, and the creator economy behind it. I just immerse myself in the community and culture, and I'm just building relationships. I'm not going in there wondering what can someone do for me? It's all about what can I do for someone else? How can I support? How can I be a cheerleader? How can I empower someone else? And by the laws of karma, that pays off in the long run. I'm just planting seeds and building relationships over time. No idea if someone's going to return the favor and share my work and provide me opportunity. But if I just keep playing this game of doing what I love and building relationships, something happens over time. Relationships compound over time. Just like you're steadily sharing your work over time, that compounds, or you putting your money in the bank in an index fund, into Bitcoin, whatever, it'll compound over time. But so do relationships. Relationships compound over time. And some of my best friends are people that I met in high school or college, decade or almost 2 decades ago, and they provided me with tons of opportunity. They provided me with jobs or word of mouth, or become clients that I coach, or become customers of a product I put out there. So relationships are everything. So get involved, pour yourself into people, be a supporter and encourager, as you never know who's going to provide you your next big break. So I wish someone would have harped on me about the importance of relationships. It's something I just naturally did, but I didn't do it through the lens of being more intentional about really pouring myself into other people. Number 3, the third thing is, the more you learn, the more you earn. Be a student of life. Knowledge is power. Education doesn't stop after school. If you're a side hustler here, clearly you're here post school, or maybe you're a college student. I have some college students who find me, but education doesn't stop after school. Which you know, that's why you're here today. You're investing in yourself, you're consuming. And for me, there's only so much the traditional educational system can teach you. Hence why there's so many forms of alternative learning today. Like, I'm not going to be the one to push my kid to go to college. I'm not going to do it. If they decide they want to, totally, I'm all for it. And that's why I'm stacking Bitcoin. I'm not going to do, oh my gosh, a specific college fund, a UTMA. I'm not doing any of that. I'm going to have Bitcoin ready for them. That way they can leverage that to go to college if they want to, have it paid for, or something they can start a business with, whatever it is. But I'm not going to force my son or my daughter to go the traditional route. And if they decide to, I'm still going to teach them early on avenues of financial literacy. I'm going to teach them about entrepreneurship. I'm going to teach my kiddos outside of school, how to make an income and start investing early on. I'm going to teach them a lot of things. I'm going to teach them school smarts. I'm going to teach them book smarts. I'm going to teach them street smarts. I'm going to teach them things that they're not going to learn in school. And then I'm going to put them in a position to carry that education onward. And for me, areas of education or learning, it just doesn't stop. So in the form of consumption, I want to constantly consume things that are going to serve me. I want to be in the 1% of creators versus the 99% of consumers out there. We become what we consume wisely. So for me, learning and being self-aware of what I'm putting in my brain, what I'm putting in my body, that's just educating me. That's going to put me in a better position, not necessarily to earn more income from what I earn, from what I'm learned, but to earn in terms of growth and progress in my physical, mental, and spiritual form of my body. That's just going to radically impact all areas and quality of my life. But also from the lens of learning from failure. I'm a student of life. I fail quickly. I am not afraid to just dive headfirst into something that scares me. That's also exciting, terrifying at the same time. Doing this scares me, but I've made a commitment. I'm going to learn from this each week. I'm going to do something that sucked that I can find an error in. I go back and rewatch every one of these, like Beyonce rewatches every one of her performances, or Kobe watches film on everything that he does. I go back and watch these and I take notes. I listen to old podcast episodes each week when things come out. I take notes when I prepare for a talk like I'll give tomorrow, or when I give at the end of April at cropcons.com, Crop Conference, Austin, Texas. I will practice my speeches and I will take notes. I will rewatch them before I go and give stuff. So I fail quickly. I'm here today because I fail. I'm a failed logo designer. I'm a failed tattoo drawer. I'm a failed clothing brand creator. I'm a failed of a lot of things. I fail at being a father at times. I fail at being a good husband at times. I fail at being a great friend at times, a good son at times. I fail constantly, and I'm here because I fail. I'm here because I'm just hungry to learn. My keys to success have been just taking initiative. Again, being patient, staying hungry, taking action, getting uncomfortable. and I take action. I'm seeking out things to learn. I try to learn at least like one new big thing each year that's going to benefit my business that makes me uncomfortable. In the past, it was just sharing and learning how to leverage social media as a tool. The early days of Instagram, then Facebook, then Twitter. Then it was learning how to blog once a year. Then it was learning how to podcast and edit audio. Then it was learning how to really dive deep in copywriting. And then it was learning a lot about social media, or not social media marketing, but email marketing, just really learn how to set up systems and funnels in email. Now it's learning how to be a good live streamer and building a system and processes around it. So every year I'm seeking one thing to learn that I suck at, that scares me. Last year, also something I was really gung ho about learning was financial literacy in terms of like saving and investing. So it can be something I'm learning in my main part of my life that's outside of business, like finances. And then within my business, it can be all those little key areas. But I'm here today because I constantly take initiative to learn. And I found all my success outside of college. I was a failure in college. I was a failed student athlete. I failed getting jobs out of school, and I could have let that dictate where my life was headed. I could have let that been a limiting belief that constrained me from reinventing myself. We're always in a position to reinvent yourself. So as I kind of land the plane here, above all else is what I'm going to tell these high school students tomorrow, what I'm going to like communicate with you too. These are the three things that I wish I needed. And it all summarizes in that you don't need a permission slip to really do what you want to do in life. You don't need a permission slip. We don't need these outside external validations to make moves on your own term in a path that excites you. You all have the power to control the narrative. And if we don't take control of the narrative, someone's going to take control of it for us. If we don't take control of our time, someone's going to take control of our time. They're going to monetize our own time. They're going to waste our time. So you're in a position where you can take control. You're the own author. You can write a new chapter to your story anytime you choose to. And I'm choosing to right now. So this is something I really want to pass along to these youths, these minds that need nurtured tomorrow. And I hope you could find benefits in what I had to say today as well. So with that being said, I'm going to open it up for Q&A. That's all I had to say. I made sure to really keep this one on the shorter side. And yeah, let's do Q&A right now. So as I'm going through, let me read what people have to say. Daddy Pig says, imposter syndrome is strong with me. I've been at the same job for 8 years, scared to go for something better because I'm scared I'm not good enough and I don't want people to think I can't do the work. Ooh, that's really, really good. Okay, so Daddy Pig, what are you doing on the side? That's so funny, me just saying, someone listened to the replay, hey, Daddy Pig. But what are you doing on the side? Like, this is the power of building something of your own on the side as a side hustle. Leverage your day job to fuel your dream job. Even if the goal isn't to do your thing one day, it's still like leverage the safety net that necessarily isn't so safe in this modern day and area with so much uncertainty, fear, and doubt in this world. But imposter syndrome, I have an episode on this, and I did an Instagram live not too long ago. But when you're feeling like an imposter, to me, that's all signs are pointing that like you're headed in the right direction. Keep going. When you feel like an imposter, keep going. So when you feel you're scared to do something, it makes you uncomfortable, your inner critic is trying to tell you that's impossible. To me, that is all systems and signs, signposts of life. Like, yo, these are the omens. This is the area you're supposed to go. This is where the growth is. So Daddy Pig, whatever is making you super uncomfortable and radically filling you with doubt and imposter syndrome, go and dip your toes in that lane. Be consistent, leverage those three things I talked about today. I'm a big believer in leveraging that day job slow and steady so you don't feel so much pressure that you have to like figure it out overnight. You can dip your toes in the water and slowly start as a hobbyist and then start converting over to a side hustler who's takes themselves more seriously when they show up for themselves each day. Nurture whatever it is you want to do and slowly build it on the side. So thanks for the vulnerability with that. I really, really, really appreciate it. And I guarantee you're not alone. Actually, just to prove you're not alone, whoever's in the chats, if you're able and accessible, can you put like a thumbs up or something? Like, who else feels like an imposter when they're out here making moves on their own terms in their own lane, or uncomfortable to make moves and break away from what they're comfortable doing because of self-doubt, because of imposter syndrome, because we care too much what people think? Let me get like a thumbs up or a hands up as I go through the chat too. Kyle says beginner to level 16 to level 36. But yes. So a beginner is like a Charmander. Level 16 is that Charmeleon. Level 36 is the Charizard. Let's see. What's up, Brad? Mark Pilardi says 99% of what guided missiles do in flight is failure correction. Pushing the comfort zone. Mariana says, we learn because we fail. I'm making peace with it. Yes. The only way to experience those sick gains, in my opinion, is just by embracing the unknown, throwing yourself into the fire, figuring out along the way, and just failing. Like I've failed so many times before I truly found my groove with my artwork, which then led to blogging and then coaching and then freelancing between all these little steps along the way. I did so much before that. Like out of school, I had a failed t-shirt company, t-shirt clothing company again. I was a failed logo designer for people. That never took off for me. I was a failed personal trainer. That didn't take off for me. I was a failed high school football coach. That didn't work out for me. But it all led me to the next thing. Everything I took on that didn't work, it allowed me to pivot to the next thing that got me one step closer to figuring out what worked. So to me, that falls in the bucket. The more you learn, the more you earn. Everything's an opportunity to learn. Sounds so cheesy as I say it out loud, but it's so true. As I'm looking back to connect the dots, I needed to fail and screw up all along the way in order to get to where I'm at now, which I continue to fail, which is setting me up for the next thing. Killer Rob's in the house. What's up, Rob Almeida? I always mess up your last name, Rob Almeida. That's why you're just dude be awesome to me. Okay, yeah, like drop those questions. But I am seeing thumbs up for Daddy Pig. A lot of people struggle with imposter syndrome, but drop those questions. I got one question right now, and if there aren't any more questions, I'll just end it early. No pressure at all. But Killer Rob says, I'm wondering how it's possible to get back on the horse or even keep the needle moving to push myself as an artist. I've been struggling between day job and dad job. Dude, I'm right there with you. I told myself the last 2 years I was too busy to draw. I was selfish. I didn't have a reason. But lately, I've had to bake it back in routine because that's like a missing part to who I am, my identity, my core happiness and fulfillment. So I made it a non-negotiable that I spend at least 15 to 30 minutes a day to draw. And I pour my interest. It's all personal work. I don't take on any commission-based work. I say no to opportunities every day. It's so empowering because it means I'm so focused on being selfish with my time and my creative time. So, Rob, I would like to challenge you to draw a non-negotiable 15 to 30 minutes a day. It can be even 10 minutes a day, but where do you even have a sliver of time? Being a dad is a crazy job. Like I'm a dad of 2 kiddos and family is everything to me. That's my top priority. And I have to find time to be selfish, to carve out a little slice of time for me. And that's with the gym. And that's with drawing at the end of the night, like 9 p.m. after I plan my attack for the next day. Me and wifey, we've done a really good job of getting into bed early and chilling by 9 o'clock, watching our shows, but I can't just sit and watch a TV show. I have to do something. So that's my time to draw, is between 9 and 10 o'clock, somewhere in between there. And then just having that external drive of like, wow, I can build this within the NFT community and have my work, live in a land I'm really excited about and build relationships around. That's just like an extra bonus for me. But otherwise, drawing's just for me right now. It's to share my story, to pursue work that really lights me up. All these ideas I've had that I just didn't have time to make time for, or I didn't prioritize to make time for. To me, I can't say I was too busy. To me, that's an excuse that I have been using for the last 2 years. What I really should say is drawing wasn't a priority to me the last 2 years, and I disguised it under the hood and the cloak of the excuse of I just don't have enough time. I have a lot of shit going on. I'm very much beyond my bandwidth, but when I'm not drawing, I'm not the same fulfilled version of myself. You know, I need to be drawing, even if it's just for me, even if it's on a freaking napkin that day and nobody's going to see it. Like I need, in order to be my best self, 100% Scotty in whatever I do, I have to draw. Drawing makes me a better coach, better friend, a better everything. So I really want to encourage you, Rob, when you say you don't have time, really challenge yourself to like, where going to keep that. I've been feeling that eating at me too. So I'm with you on, yeah, I guarantee like you're too talented of an artist to not make time to draw for you, and use it as, find a reason. Maybe it's to show your kid. Maybe you're drawing your kiddo and leveraging them as inspiration to show up and draw, because you have a driving force of like, here, I can build this little baby book of like drawings centered around my kiddo and something I can give them. You know, have a reason why you're showing up to draw. For me, it's because I need it to be my best self. And also the lens of NFT art, that is really exciting to me and something I've always been interested in, but just it didn't feel like it was a good fit. And now I'm proving myself otherwise. Plus I'm showing that my kiddos, you know, like I want to show them, here's dad drawing. Look what I drew today, buddy. Like now, okay, let's start helping you draw now. You know, and I want to plant seeds in my kiddos' mind. So if I show up and I'm continuing to be creative, it may rub off and nurture my children to be creative as well. So those are just like the driving internal reasons why I make drawing a non-negotiable right now. And Rob, it could start off as something like, for an accountability standpoint, after your 10 minutes of drawing each day, just go and take a screenshot on your Instagram stories. Make it small. Just for every day, I have to show a work in progress of what I'm working on. It could be something as simple as that, just to hold yourself accountable. Let's jump into the chat. What have I missed? August inspired peach content. Yeah, like do peach content around your kiddo or something like that every day. Like just something, have a reason that gets you excited to carve out 10 minutes a day. And I feel like I know you well enough that once you start carving out that 10 minutes a day, you're gonna be like, damn, I'm really enjoying this. I'm getting lost in, oh my God, 10 minutes is up already. Like I can't wait to jump on this piece tomorrow. But motivation comes from the act of doing and like carving out actual time versus like, I'm going to wing that 10 minutes each day. But me, I have that set carved out time. It's a non-negotiable. Wifey's on board with it too. Yeah. And I build my schedule around it. I need that structure and routine. That's what works for me. Maybe that'll work for you, Rob. Let's see. Frank says, finding a new job is a slow process and my current day job feels like a punishment. Ooh. Yeah. My biggest thing too, if that day job is toxic, get yourself out of there. It's not serving you. It's not serving the world. Even if you got to take a little bit of a pay cut, I realize with inflation and everything going on right now, cost of gas, it's scary. But man, your quality of life deserves to have a job that values you or something you could stomach, that you could leverage to build something you truly care about, that you can nurture on the side. But I even told myself, man, I've gone on record a million times. If my past day job, working a corporate cubicle, if they didn't value what I did, they walked all over me like past jobs did, they took advantage of me. Or if it didn't complement and support and nurture the work I was doing outside of it, if it distracted and burnt me out and was toxic, I went on record saying like I would stop doing that job that was paying me 50 to then 60K a year. I would stop that and go deliver pizzas. That way I could like build something on the side, make sure my bills were covered, and I could like build something that I care about on the side. So please, nobody should be working a day job that is toxic, that beats them down, that doesn't value them, that doesn't appreciate them, that makes them feel like shit every day. There's something else out there. Make yourself a priority. Make your happiness, your self-care, your wellness a priority, and seek something else out that could be a temporary. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. Yeah, it's uncomfortable because you know how to operate within that realm. Plus, you probably know what you can get away with as well within that circumference of your control, within that safe day job that you're comfortable with. But it's not worth it at the end of the day. There's a lot of job offerings out there too. Like people are having a hell of a time to fill jobs. So there's something out there. So I want to encourage you, don't work a job that feels like a slow dying punishment. Brian says, this is sick, coach, excited to see more of these. Yeah, weekly, figuring out weekly. Oh, there they are out the window, pulling the ladder out. Okay. Woo, we have gutters on that side of the Four Seasons. Woohoo. But yes, I will be doing these weekly until I figure out how to like wrap in the podcast part of it. So, yep. Rob says I was going to draw a little bit last night. Going to keep that consistent. Yep. Okay. Mark says, I find that it's difficult for me to just draw 15, 30 minutes a day. About 10 minutes in, it seems like the next hour. Yes. Sometimes it's hard to just get started, but motivation comes from the act of doing, and motivation comes from routine. It just becomes something you do. It becomes a non-negotiable. It was kind of hard for me in the beginning to get started up drawing again. It was like riding a bike again for the first time without training wheels. I started picking it up, and every day it's like, okay, now it's like, okay, man, I'm stoked to draw at night. I can't wait to get to that 9 p.m. slot where I get to draw and just watch whatever show we got going. Right now we're watching Righteous Gemstones on HBO Max. That shit's pretty funny. But I look forward to that time with wifey to just decompress, hang out, lay in our bed after a long day. That's like a treat. Drawing is like a treat for a hard day's work for me. Drawing is my side hustle again, which is wild because drawing was the thing that built my side hustle and then got me to where I am today doing coaching full time. Now drawing's back to being the side hustle within the NFT space. It's pretty wild how it all comes full circle. But does anybody else have any other questions? Otherwise, we'll kind of just wrap this up and I'll send it off. Ooh, Daddy Pig says, I'm doing my freelance design on the side, but I'm from Zimbabwe. Design is not appreciated this side of the world. It's all about filling white spaces and big. So freelance in itself is unfulfilling. If freelance is unfulfilling, freelance for me was hella unfulfilling. I was finding success. I was slowly charging more and more and more. But at the end of the day, freelance was just a version of success that I thought I needed to do because that was someone else's path. Instead, I started blogging, I started podcasting, I started just creating the art that I wanted to be known for, which led to demand for what I did and opportunities from there that I was able to monetize without pressuring it to be anything. So, Daddy Pig, I don't know what your situation or circumstances are like, but if your current day job pays the bills and there's something else you do want to do and start that's exciting outside of freelance, like start your own YouTube channel or something you want to design or create, or maybe you do want to pursue freelance and you want to attract specific type of clients, just say no to the current work you're doing if it's not fulfilling and not aligned with the work you want to be known for or attract. Start hiring yourself for ghost projects. Create the brands, create the projects that you would like to see exist in this world. Or if there's certain brands you want to work with, make certain projects, ghost projects, like campaigns or whatever it is. Like say you want to work for Nike, you're a sneakerhead, you love Nike, create your own sneaker campaign based on your own interest and value. Maybe it's soccer, wherever you're at, potentially in Zimbabwe. Make like a soccer campaign around Nike, combining your interest, your passion, your beliefs, your values, and building some type of campaign that's targeted towards Nike. You never know who'll pick it up. I got students who find work like this all the time. A student, Marvin, who did something similar with his Photoshop editing work, his his identity within the Pride community and his love for fashion and Nike. He did a Stride with Pride Nike campaign, just a self-initiated ghost project. He didn't get hired by them to do it. He just did it because he loved it and wanted to put himself out there to show he could do this type of work. And he ended up getting hired by Reebok 6 months later. Still works for them today. That was a student of mine from fall 2020. This stuff works, but if freelance isn't that life that you're vibing to, start a project on your own. Let go of it. Have your bills covered over here and devote yourself to building something you're excited about that challenges you on the side. Like I don't do freelance anymore. It didn't excite me. It's not the successful path that I wanted to pursue. I decided to choose something else, didn't put myself under the pressure to monetize it right away. It slowly grew and evolved and scaled on its own to where the demand showed itself. And then I was able to capitalize on opportunities because of the demand that I was building for the value and impact I created. Then I was able to monetize it. So self-study the content you want to be hired for. Correct. Rob says, love it, man. I've been missing that discipline in my schedule. And my coach, my current wellness nutrition trainer coach, Aaron Straker, he really hits it home. Like there's times I'm like, man, I just needed better discipline in my food decisions or like getting more sleep. And what he said really stuck with me that I then passed to my own students. There's a lot of overlap in how he and I communicate and operate, but yes, it's about discipline in a sense, but truly it's about desire. You have to have a burning desire to attain some type of result that you truly seek. Like, how badly do you want it? The more we truly desire something, discipline and habits will be formed for that. So if I truly, like through the lens of working with my coach, if I truly desire, I'll just say it, like this physical body composition, six pack, shredded, lean, ripped, I desire that. I was the fat kid growing up who got bullied and picked on and always struggled with body confidence. So if I truly desire this vision of what I feel I can get to in terms of body composition and appearance, if that is a burning desire, then the discipline will come with it. If I desired to have this, then I wouldn't be snacking on my kids' chicken nuggets that are left over, or giving in and having a nice coffee. If like this was truly important to me during this season, it's about desire versus the discipline. The discipline comes with the desire. So if you truly desired to get hired by Nike, well, then you would be building out campaigns to attract that type of result. If you truly desired to speak on a big stage one day, then you would be putting yourself out there via a podcast or a YouTube channel, whatever it is. If you truly desired this type of result, what are the steps that are going to lead you? And then you build the disciplines within it. So discipline stems from desire. What do you desire? And most people don't know what they desire. So they lack the discipline to show up because they don't have a defined result that they're chasing. And me, oh my gosh. Okay. That's funny. The homie Neil Vilpu is in here right now. And it relates to this. Like, to me, I truly desire right now to be an absolute monster in the Web3 space. I desire to be a successful NFT artist who's then able to onboard as many creatives as possible from the Web2 space that I coach and bring them onto the Web3 space, where there's so much opportunity for creators that can get rid of the middleman. And so everything I'm doing now as through my side hustle is preparing me to like transition everything over there. So I'm still building this Web2 space, still doing this weekly stuff here. I'm on my coach and everything, but I'm building this overlap. And then the side hustle, I truly desire to be a great artist within this space. It's lighting me up internally and externally. I have my fuel sources and I have the people that I desire to be around to build relationships with. And it's all aligning to what I desire to become within the next year, 2 years, 3 years, to get early into this space that I know is going to be the future. And I want to bring as many people along for the ride so they can find a success as well. What is it? A rising ship benefits all boats. I don't know. But yeah, the homie Neil is one in here too that like I'm really, really proud to like see his success in this space too. That's really fueled me to show me that it is possible. Cause like 6 months ago, I just didn't think there was any space for me. I'm too busy. Plus everybody like else is killing it. That's a big name in this space and nobody's going to care about my work. I already like discounted myself based on limiting beliefs in my inner critic that this lane wasn't. Rising tide lifts all boats. Yeah, I said something like that. I don't even know what I said. But yeah, you all get what I mean. Any other questions? I can hang on for like another 5 minutes. I feel I'm to the point where I'm rambling right now on people's comments and just hearing myself speak. And I'd rather just like talk to you. But otherwise, I'll give it a minute. If nobody has another question or a comment, then, we can hit pause and pick this back up next week. But this will be available immediately for replay. And also, let me pull this up. My private Discord community is live and ready to go right now. So I believe most of you are already in it that are here today, but I'll drop a link right here in case you do want to be a part of it. And it'll be in the YouTube description as well. But yes, Side Hustlers Collective. Side Hustlers Collect. Let me grab that link. Free Discord community. All right. Maybe that'll show up in the YouTube comments. But thank you, Katie. I appreciate it. And Camille, that's all right. The replay is available at the end. I try to like let people know in the Discord too and in the announcements channel when I'm going, but I don't want to be a gross spammer. Bright Cole, what's up, brother? That's all right. A replay will be available here in a couple minutes. So thank you for these live sessions. Scotty, you're going to kill it on stage. Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate it. Yeah, I can't wait to drop this. I have a PowerPoint and everything ready to go for these kiddos tomorrow. Hey, I talked for like almost 30 minutes today. I got to condense it all into 10 minutes. So once I get done with here, I'm going to eat a quick lunch, practice it a couple times. And yeah, I'm really, really stoked for the opportunity to go speak to my alma mater tomorrow. So wish me luck. And with that being said, let's just call it a day. All right. I appreciate you. I love you. Same time next week, 12 p.m. Central Time, every Wednesday moving forward, which will scale into the podcast. And if you have feedback or ideas for me, send me a message somewhere. And yeah, appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Have a great day. Peace.